Welcome, bitches. This is the With Love Nick podcast. There is nothing off limits here. Oh, get on your power panties. Shit, I always say that. How are we always aligned? You did not. Of course you did. Of fucking course you did. Success happens on the other side of conventional thinking. I say this all the time because when I was conventionally thinking, it left me burnt out and drunk. Welcome to this week's episode of the With Love Nick podcast. Hello and welcome to a special episode of With Love Nick. I felt really pulled to just press record and talk about the marketing of a visionary. Because as I ascend into this new level of business and wealth and leadership and all of the things that I'm being called to do, as I step deeper into my purpose, as I learn more about myself, as things that have been suppressed for so many years start to surface, and I'm truly healing through traumas and things that may have worked for me in the past in my business and now no longer serve the person that I'm becoming. I really want to shed some light on marketing a successful business as a visionary because I feel like there are some misconception in the industry of what we actually do and why we market our offers the way that we market our offers. So I truly believe deep down, being a fully embodied visionary, everything that I talk about in the marketing of my business, I have experienced. I continue to experience. I continue to evolve in these areas that I speak on. Right? Nothing comes from a place of how do I get them to buy? How do I sell this? How do I speak to people's problems? How do I do all of this research on my target audience and figure out what their problems are and tell them that I have a solution to their problems, right? The visionary is we know what our true desires are. So, as an embodied person of business, therefore, we know the desires of our ideal clients. So when we come out into content or launching a program or even speaking behind the scenes, it's not about the what is the framework that can get me from A to B? What is the strategy that can get me from A to B? The visionary method is more of the overall vision, the overall depth, and not just the width, right? My term for 2024 is depth. Every single thing that I do in my business, I want to go as deep as possible. When I write my content, it comes from a place of me desiring and needing to get a message to the people who resonate with my journey. It's not coming from a place of, well, I need to get somebody to buy what I'm feeling or what I'm experiencing or the success that I have generated in my business or my life. It's not needing to do any of those things. For the visionary, the sales and the money are the byproducts of the vision. So I want you to really think about this the next time you go invest in your business or in mentorship is this coming from a place of I need to get from A to B and I need this strategy or framework in order for me to be successful? Or is it coming from a place of, wow, I love the way that she's laying this all out and I want to pick her brain on this, knowing that her strategy and framework can be a baseline for what you are about to create, but not needing it, more so desiring it, right? And there's also a difference between coming into the online space fresh and new, fresh off the streets, right? And starting your business for the first time online. There are different things that we need to do as we evolve as business owners. And if you're starting your business from scratch, the main gaps that already need to be bridged are growing your network. I would suggest getting some monthly recurring revenue so you can stay as deeply tapped into your zone of genius and passion as possible and not get caught up in how to make sales, how to make sales, how to make sales, how to make sales, how to make sales. So really tapping into what you love doing and monetizing that first and then expanding as you grow as a business owner, as you experience life as a business owner, right? Because we all start at a beginning point, but it's only the experience of entrepreneurship and exploring who we become on that journey that will get us into new levels of entrepreneurship, right? We cannot just start a business and know it all and have it all. So this is kind of we're kind of in this era right now where we're overcoming this these expectations that were set that we can just build success overnight. The fake it till you make it, the hustle and bustle, and by saying hustle and bustle, I'm not dogging people who like to get up early and go to bed late. If that's your zone of passion and that's how you like to work and that's how you operate, that's great. What I mean by hustle is neglecting every other facet of your life to try to make sales and keep your head above water in your business, right? So we're kind of exiting this hustle culture and we're entering this era of desiring to heal and really tap into what we want to do with our lives. The whole reason of starting a business isn't to obsess about monthly scale sales and then have to start over and then go invest in the next secret sauce to getting people knocking at your DMs, waving their credit cards at you. There's also this misconception that was kind of embedded into the industry that you can dangle a bag of shit in front of people and they will come running with their credit cards waving, I'm in, I'm in, I'm in, I'm in, I'm in, if you plug in this one strategy. And for the visionary, it's not about that one plug and play strategy. For the visionary, it's utilizing a strategy that speaks to them, understanding that it's a baseline for what they're going to create, understanding that it's a baseline to get them off the ground, and then experience refinement and integration as they utilize that tool that they have purchased, but not depending on it, not banking on it, not it being the make or break to the overall vision. For the visionary, it's the entirety of the journey. For the visionary, it's the longevity of everything that we're going to experience in our business ship and in our lifetime and compounding on those things to become a better learner, a better teacher, a better human, a better mother, a better wife, a better partner, right? A better mentor, a better mentee, all of these things. It's like we take these experiences and we compound on them. And the byproduct of tapping into our true passion, clarity, and purpose is wealth. And for the visionary, the wealth and the entirety of all of the abundance and all of the resources and all of the tools and all of the contemplation and all of the thought and all of the process and all of that, it's compounding on all of that, and it's the entirety of the wealth. It's not the I need to get from A to B, so I'm going to give her money so that she can give me the secret sauce. Because for the visionary, it's us. It's everything that we require to be successful in our lifetime is already available to us. But what that requires externally is investing in mentorship from somebody who has been where we desire to go, integrating the codes that they have obtained, co-creating with the codes that we have obtained, and creating a whole new path to opportunity. The whole point of mentorship is to see business and life and experience through other people's lenses and tap into new ideation because we only know what we know. So for the visionary, when we invest, it's not the hooks of are you capped here and you want to go here? It's not the strategy that we can plug and play and we'll have overnight success. Like the visionary, we've already been through that. We've already been through the experience of starting our business. For the visionary, it's the overall picture, right? It's not only the feeling of knowing something big was happening was what started our business. Knowing and tapping into more of that tangible vision is where we are at when we start investing big. And I am in the process of creating this post, but by the time this episode comes out, that post will already be posted. But I talk about how I invest as a high caliber client, a high caliber mentor, providing high level spaces for the visionary and how I buy. And I will tell you right now that there is a time and a place to buy the strategy to help get your business off the ground, the strategy to have people knocking on your DMs, right? The short-term strategies that can kind of help us stack that MRR and get some sales and really start to generate that evidence that what we're doing is working. But long-term and sustainability wise, for the visionary, It is the entirety of the vision. It's not the point A to point B. It's not an end goal. It's the overall, what can I do today that's going to stretch me, that tomorrow I can compound with what I do tomorrow that stretches me, right? It's like, where can I take this? Okay, I did this, now what? Okay, I did this and now I want to go bigger. Okay, I did this, so I know that this is possible. So a lot of times I get asked, well, if as a visionary, is it just the vision that keeps you going? And like I said a couple of minutes ago, it's like when we start our business, it's the vision and just the feeling that something big, we are meant for something bigger. And that's really what kind of differentiates between like a normal human being who is an entrepreneur can also be a successful business owner, right? I'm not just saying that visionaries are the only people who can create success, but we see things differently. We perceive things differently. So for the visionary, it's the vision. It's the vision that gets us started. It's the vision that fuels our passion. It's the vision that keeps us going. And I'm never saying it's not hard. I don't just, you know, create a mood board and look at that and I'm like, "Oh, I can keep going." I'm not saying that it's not hard. There are devastating times of being an entrepreneur and there's, understanding that whether it's great or bad, understanding that all of our feelings are temporary is really the reframe that helped me continue to go through the extreme good and the temporary bad. So it's the vision that got me started. It's the vision that helped me continue going. But then when I have generated enough of the experience and the evidence and the mentorship and all of the things, you kind of step into a new level of vision where the vision then becomes tangible. It's like, okay, I can create multiple $1 million years. And then it's like, okay, I just had $100,000 day. Like now what? Now things are becoming more tangible because we're experiencing things in our business that where the byproduct is tangible. So the difference between an entrepreneur and the visionary entrepreneur is when an entrepreneur starts their business, and I understand this only through the lens of my clients who aren't visionaries but go on to become very successful entrepreneurs, is they are about the data and the framework and the strategy and the moving parts. And as they generate those and as they refine them and as they trial and error those and those become successful and then they compound on those and then they become more successful and they get to scale their business with those strategies that they have just completely blown out of the water and mastered, right? The visionary, it starts with the vision. It doesn't start with the data and the framework and the strategies. Those come a little bit later. And I can't speak for every visionary, but I know myself, it's always been the vision. When I started my business, it was literally a feeling that I am meant for more. My passion lies deeper. I know that there's something inside of me that I want to get to, and I need to tap into somebody else's codes who have been where I desire to go. And has it always been like that? Fuck no, because I'm human. I got lost in the hustle and bustle of the industry. I got lost in the who has the best strategy and I'm hiring this person to get something. Like we've all been there. We've all been there. And the vets in this industry that I have had the honor to share this space with for so long, we've all gotten caught up into it. And I can also speak for the fact that none of us have the secret sauce. Because the only secret sauce that we have to generate the success at the depth that we desire to create success, I mean, that's only within us. But we are not meant to do this alone. We are meant to co-create. We are meant to coexist. We are meant to calibrate new ideas together. And that's where the success of one person and then the success of somebody who is 10x the success that you have. Imagine the co-creation that happens in that type of space. I mean, just imagine that. I'm over here with the evidence because I do it every single day. And if I feel like I'm getting comfy, I challenge myself by stretching myself. I invest in something bigger. I experience something bigger. I challenge myself to stop doing something, to get rid of things that no longer serve me. So for the visionary, it really is about that depth and less about the width. And that's why for me, like I said, I'm not speaking for every visionary. I'm speaking on my own experience. But for me, when I started my new Instagram, it was to dive deeper into intentionality. Even if somebody follows me, if I don't align with that follower, I'm very picky about who I let in my space now because my energy is sacred. And this is why I don't believe in power hours and just engaging to engage and all of this stuff. It's like our reality, our external reality is created by our internal reality, and our internal reality is created by what we consume, what who we put ourselves in front of, what rooms we put ourselves in. And so it's like even some conversations that come into my DMs I won't even entertain because there are just some conversations I don't desire to have anymore. There are just there are people in different levels of their business that I don't desire to work with anymore. And I really truly feel like that's okay. I say that unapologetically, but also understanding that there are other fantastic mentors at a level that can serve that type of business owner. But for me, I'm past buying for a strategy. I'm past the vanity metrics. My my content pieces that convert the biggest and the quickest are the ones that get the least engagement because when I have people come into my space and they just know, they don't take the time to like and comment and tell me how wonderful I am and, put me on a pedestal. They go straight to my fucking inbox. And so it's like I really want to just express that if you are trying to reach a higher caliber client, you must provide a higher caliber offer, a higher caliber space, and be the higher caliber client first. And I have expressed this also in my post, and you can find that on Instagram at FemWealth Engineer. And I feel like if it feels hard to speak to the higher caliber client, you're not ready to hold space for a higher caliber client. Because I truly believe in the embodiment piece that if you are looking to serve somebody who requires a high level space, they are coming in unhinged. They are coming in very unconventional. They are coming in with big dreams and big vision. And if you can't speak to that, and it's difficult for you to speak to that in your content, you're not ready for the high level visionary. And the only way to do that is to experience the higher caliber space. And that also goes to say that you must be very embodied in your work, right? It can't just be the 10 steps to get to 30K if you've never generated 30K. It can't just be the 5 steps to fully embody a $100,000 day if you've never embodied a $100,000 day, right? We can teach, we often do teach better than we can integrate ourselves because we're not attached to other people's feelings or results. We are attached to our own. So there will be our biggest hurdle. And I say this to my clients all the time. But I truly believe that a higher caliber client, because I am a higher caliber client, I require the leadership and mentorship space of somebody who has been through what they are preaching online. And if you're having a hard time speaking to the visionary, if you're having a hard time speaking to the higher level client, you're not ready to serve that type of client. Because when you are ready to serve that type of client, you've embodied that already. So the marketing aspect, the content and the messaging aspect of that isn't hard because you can basically speak to yourself and attract exactly who you desire to serve. So I really wanted to just like word vomit that because I'm a generator. Those of you who follow me, I talk about this a lot because once I learned how I operate, it helped me. I mean, it was like a game changer in my business and my life and my relationships and every facet of my business. But I'm a generator with ADHD. I'm also a recovering alcoholic. And so when I also have an open throat chakra, shoat chakra. We're not cutting that out. We're leaving it right there. This is as raw and as real as it gets. But when I feel the need to say something, I have to exhaust that energy or kind of just like sticks in my brain and then it becomes more complicated. So I have to move that energy. And I thought, what better way to leave my people and my followers and the women who follow my journey with something to think about over the weekend, something to contemplate, right? Healthy contemplation. And and just a reminder that the next time you go to invest in something, ask yourself, am I doing this because I truly desire to tap into her zone of genius and really become the best version of myself? Or am I investing to get something from her? Thank you so much for joining me for this short special episode. I will just name this The Visionary. I hope you all have a fantastic Easter weekend. And for those of you joining me next week for my free dialogue, Raw, I will see you then. With love, Nick.